All right, folks, we're back. We're just waiting for the players in the lobby right now. First map is going to be Trader's Exile. And loser's pick afterwards, as has been the rest of the tournament so far today. Again, I'm really excited to see people... Like, I love... If you guys have been fans for BaseTradeTV for a while, you know I love experimenting with different formats, right? But it's really cool to know that, like, even just super basic, quote-unquote, regular things like a 2v2 tournament that don't require special rules or different types of maps, like, can still reside so well with the fans. Like, I'm just amazed. This has been a longer than average broadcast, right? Like, we're coming up on 5 hours now. And on top of this, we've held over 2,000 viewers for it. You guys got involved with the prize pool in such a big way. Like, and we got that last game was so sick, right? Now we got a finals, which I'm just as excited for here.
Should be pretty even. We had 2 ace match series leading up to that. It's 3-0, but then that 3-0 gave us a pretty exciting last game, so I'm okay with it. Imagine this will go to the ace 2.
Well, folks, we get into map number 1. Now, this tournament is brought to you in part thanks to Matcherino, mostly in part due to you as the fans, but without the money from Twitch, we would never have had this happen in the first place. They're really awesome. They give us a lot of flexibility to do stuff, and again, I'm not just talking like whatever our monthly income is. Twitch straight up sponsors the channel, so when you guys cheer bits, when you sub on Prime, it makes everything so much better. So thank you, because we've had a hell of a lot of Prime subs today. If anyone else out there is willing, we're gonna love you. But let's get into it. Spawning here in the bottom right, playing for the team Slavation. I keep wanting to say Salvation, but it's the Slavation army. It's the combination of Nerchio and Beastyqt.
And on the top left, as the Teal Terran, it's uThermal. Red Zerg Elazer for AmazingGaming.net.
All right, so I don't know about tactics at this point. TVZ mirror matchup is a cool concept for sure, because everything we've seen so far has been like double Terran or whatever. Like, there's actually not been this pure of a weird matchup, and mirror matchup, excuse me. And I'm really excited to see how this scores off, because, like, for example, Nerchio versus Elazer 1v1, that could go either way in a best of 5 series. Beastie and uThermal, I think I favor uThermal, but I don't put Beastie too far behind him. Like, this is a pretty evenly matched set. But I think a lot of the weight we're going to be watching will be coming out of Elazer and Nerchio for it.
Okay, yeah. That seemed to be the case last series. Elazer was definitely some of the... he brought back a lot of those games, especially that last one. But it's also been uThermal, I guess, defending early game, so can't really neglect that. And then contributing with what he does best, which is multitasking and dropping, and he does a great job of that. So I'll certainly able to take on Nerchio and Beastyqt. For me, I guess you look at these 4 names, and Beastyqt does kind of look like the weak link, but because he is a smart guy that plays all races, and I think does particularly well in a weirder format, I actually give him a lot of credit to help Nerchio. Well, as a team. Not that he's literally depending on Nerchio to win in the game.
Well, actually, it's funny you bring that, because it was Beastie who actually carried a game earlier today, even, right? So
yeah,
we know what they're capable of.
Yep. So it might be some early game aggression. I think with the fact that you have a Terran and a Zerg, like especially, like, you know, Harsum tried. He got those oracles. The Adepts can certainly help out a tiny bit. It's not that Protoss can't do early game aggression, but when you do think about races, there's definitely a stereotype as Zerg's early, Terran's mid, and Protoss is late is generally what people say, even though it's changed throughout the metas and all that. But I think that's like especially prominent in these team games. And Hellion Ling versus Hellion Ling is one of the most popular like TZ strategies you have.
I love it too, because I think Hellions are just great against blanket everything. But this starts off really well for Nerchio as he gets a queen kill from Elazer. Now, there's going to be some Banleys coming in soon, so his clock is ticking on how long he can really sit around here mucking with the queens. But he does take out the Banelings and the queens. And now the Hellions join in, and this is already looking way too good for our bottom team.
Yeah. You know, the mistake might be from uThermal. He expanded. He didn't go Hellions.
Yeah,
he didn't add on those Cyclones even that he did last series.
Yeah, his production's not there. I think this is it. This is already like 2v1.
Yeah, this thing is, uThermal is so far away from those things that can actually get him back in a game, like Stim and Medivacs, that Okay, maybe he can hole up on his 2 bases and just say like Elazer take as long as possible to die. That's a lot of times what you say to your partner. But I don't think it's really going to be too helpful.
He actually cancels just to send, I think, the money over. Cancels those lings. See if he sends money over or not, but this is, like, with a bunker here, it's not going to be super easy to break this, but they totally could if they wanted to commit. Like, there's enough lings, he's going to go for Bailey, so just bust it, I guess. Banshee tried to be sneaky out of Beasty, but that's picked off already. And the last 2 things that Elazer's going to make before he sends all of his money to his ally are 2 Bailings.
Hey. Yeah, that's pretty useful.
You know what, hypothetically, if these 2 Bailings get the hit that stops Nerchio from busting this, or even picks off the lings that flood by after, that could be amazing. But I don't think that's going to happen, and the Hellions take them out pretty much immediately. Hellions can deal with a lot of the Marines that are left too, but it's a hit-and-run scenario, not a sit-there and fight scenario, so this doesn't go well for Beasty.
Yeah, the Marines had quite a spread, even though there was a limited number of them, and there just wasn't quite enough Banelings and Lings from Nerchio to help surround those split Marines. So uThermal holds, but Nerchio and BaseTradeTV, they don't have to continue trying to kill this guy. They have entirely killed Elazer. Entirely. Unless uThermal wants to send him 50 minerals to build a single drone, which he probably doesn't want to do right now. And Nerchio is keeping tabs on. They can just sit back.
It has likely just become an impromptu Archon mode match where it's 2v1. Problem is, though, like, if you like you said earlier,
on the hot scale, I'm a 10, baby.
Well, not that, but if you thermal, you did actually say that earlier. Funny enough, if uThermal was more ahead, if he was faster to the stim time, if he was already across the map with a medevac, right? There's a lot of hypotheticals where he does enough damage to turn it at least into a 1v1. But I don't know if that's going to be the case. However, this is still quite a good push. It's Hellbats, it's Marines, and against only Nerchio, I think this would kill him outright. But with uThermal now having to fight 2 players, and BC going to have ideally his back, couple Cyclones, couple Hellions, I don't think it should be too bad.
Nerchio might take some damage, sure. But, equalizing, not too confident about that. Nerchio is successfully denying uThermal's natural base, not quite breaking into the main yet. uThermal is hoping to God this attack does the trick.
Oh, BC is pretty smart to pull back from this, actually. Get an auto turret there for some shots. Hellions lick some of this. Of course, Hellions do bonus damage to Hellbats that can out-kite them. Once the Hellbats are gone, the Lings are a little more efficient, a little more effective.
Yeah, don't forget Nerchio still has like 20 Lings that can come back and help. Well, 10, but
well, they're on the way
still
back
something. Yeah, they are running back.
Couple of SC pulls. I mean, it's not much. GG gets called, and that's going to be it. Game 1 goes to Nerchio and Beastyqt.
That was swift. It lasted 2 extra minutes, but really, Elazer died very quickly.
I feel like that's the closest we've seen to a build order win all day through the many games we've cast, which is kind of a good thing, but also kind of sucks to recognize that it can still happen.
Well, yeah, when there's 2 players. I mean, build order win sometimes feels like it is literally like, I don't know, a Banshee versus a Raven or something like that, but that was just one player decided to be greedy on a map that you're not combined. That is always a questionable maneuver. You know, it's other maps in 2v2s that have the pocket bases, or, you know, you can help just by building a wall. uThermal couldn't help by building a wall. He helped himself by building a wall.
Yeah, that was actually it's selfish when you phrase it like that.
Gotta be selfish sometimes.
Yeah, just put creep all over your ally's base.
I needed that creep. I needed sight.
You did not. You did not.
Well, you also didn't need to put your handicap at 50% in that other 2v2 we did.
Yeah,
so
but we won that one, so whatever.
I don't know what this wee nonsense is.
Sweet. Hey, my one of mines were legit. They're the only things that weren't affected by the handicap, really.
Oh my god.
Alright, well, at the moment, we're just waiting on the map pick from the players. I don't want to go to a commercial break because we are in the finals, and I'd like to just ride this out, but if it takes too much longer, we may just end up throwing some ads up, guys. Make the most of the downtime, but in the meantime, gotta give some love to all the people who have subbed recently. In case we've missed anybody, just a quick recap to Gary_R for the Twitch Prime sub. That $10 during that last game, by the way, right at the end, came from Miracle Mage. So Miracle Mage, brand new sub to the channel, also throws $10 our way. Thank you so much, dude. Mayor's Ephemeral was a brand new sub as well. Hazard Course came back for 8 months. Thank you. Snark Angel for 12, one of the year of the best StarCraft 2 channels around. Oh, you made me blush. Lament 1412, I think we got earlier, says, yeah, I woke up, you're still here, but thank you anyways again, because Frankly, 13 months is a long time to be on the channel. But that spiel bought us enough time for the players to make up their minds, and Arctic Gates is going to be map number 2.
You are not with Nerchio.
I could be, though. I think me and Nerchio would be good friends.
Do you think you and Nerchio could beat me and uThermal? No, me and Elazer. Sorry, me and Elazer.
Yes. Confidently, yes. But, only on the caveat, we're on a Skype call that I could mess with you while we're playing.
What? That's never worked. Why do you give that so much power?
Because I have faith in my ability to be shitty.
I feel like you've tried this before. Actually, you did try this before. I remember we were playing Archon mode, and we were like the team captains. You like tried to BM before the game started, and I was like, okay, whatever, team, let's do this.
Whatever, dude. I've evolved. I've grown since then.
I feel like
this isn't Rifkin from a year ago. This is Rifkin from now, 2017 August. All right.
I can be proud about one thing. It's usually that I'm like not phased by too much. Cats are the worst. No, fuck, what the fuck,
Sounds
man?
like you want to set up a bet match. I'm just saying.
Well, see, now it would be difficult to say because like.
Yeah, you're gonna
you
back down.
say it's
you
because.
Afraid? You scared?
You say it's because of what you would say. I say it's because Nerchio's really good. I think me and Elazer could beat you, though.
I think we need to talk to Elazer and Nerchio sometime about setting up a special show match. See what the fans have to say when we get caught up on that delay. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2. Spawning here on the leftmost side of the map after feeling a very swift and quick defeat in game 1. It's the Red Zerg player Elazer with his partner uThermal. AmazingGaming.net.
On the right side is the green Terran. He is BaseTradeTV. And the blue Zerg, Nerchio.
I really like watching these two play. I think I want to go back through VC's VODs after and listen to their Skype conversations, because I gotta imagine these guys don't have a lot of chatter. There's probably a bit of yelling as far as like, oh, this is important, listen to me, but like I think they've got good synergy, and just watching the way they've played, like even in the series where BC I talked about like joke about carrying, like I think there's actually really good teamwork with these two.
So I don't know if you saw the lobby in that last Harsum Lambo game versus.
I did not, because I have to keep auto-forwarding this stupid game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah. It was funny because someone was like, "Is Lambo tilting?" They were waiting for uThermal in the lobby, so it was Elazer. Elazer was like, "Is Lambo tilting?" And then Harsum was like, "Lambo's in this game." That's a pretty good partner BM.
I feel like Harsum is actually one of the guys who he could get away with saying almost anything because he's very charismatic and cheeky when it comes to things like that. Like he could have actually meant that in a very like snide way, but we would have always taken it as like playful banter, right?
Yeah, it's the real trick, you know. Just be so charismatic that when you're BM, everyone's just like.
No, meanwhile I'm just like, Zombie Up, you really fucking didn't know Vorzin could do this? What was it? There was something else recently we talked.
No, there was the Nova and Defense Matrix.
The Nova Defense drones, that's right.
So
yeah.
Okay, so he calls it Defense Matrix, and I was like, I don't remember during the Defense Matrix stuff because I really didn't notice that it was casting Defense Matrix, and I'm still like, does it? I thought it was just
like, what are these
barrier.
green shields? I don't know. What would you call them? They must be Green Lantern constructs.
I mean, it's like calling Guardian Shield also a Defense Matrix. Like I thought it was just a shield.
It's not a shield though, because shields are like what Protoss units have.
Okay, but I thought it was something that soaks up damage, not necessarily literally Defense Matrix. When you say Defense Matrix, I literally imagine a science vessel popping out and doing the whole like, and then like, you know, static electricity goes around it. So of course I was.
See, you're like a Brood War elitist when it comes to Defense Matrix, because I've only ever known Defense Matrix as like that green shell.
I guess that's true. Well, that's why I was confused, okay? So you can get me on that time that I didn't know Vorzin has recall in her pylons. You can give me a lot of things in co-op, but that wasn't...
So like, oh, I have a Vorzin teammate? I wonder... She never uses cloak or her fucking pylons to recall. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. There's definitely some co-op missions that was very useful. To be fair, I think the one time someone was like, you should have, I was like, oh, I don't know if that was actually that helpful. But there are definitely some other situations where it could have been very helpful.
So some very cool things happening here, by the way, with the command center getting stalled, Reaper getting picked off by the Widow Mine. Now we got a drop. I was just gonna quickly comment though, if you guys haven't tried this week's weekly mutation for co-op on Brutal, it is stupid. It is maddeningly angry. But Zombie Up and I managed to beat it.
Yeah, we did.
And I wish we had recorded it because we didn't think we were gonna beat it. It was more of like, you just want to do co-op, I need to kill some time. And we're like, this is so stupid.
Yeah. Yep. Look at that Widow Mine burrow.
Slowest burrowing Widow Mine. It's like this time warp cast on it.
Just its feet are so big. Look at that. That was the slow one. Okay, that was what was absurd. The other one actually, the first one wasn't so bad. These ones were what we were talking about.
I wonder if this is some sort of weird animation bug then.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Because I was going to say one of those, the one that burrowed by the command center looked fine. The one by the mineral lines went in super slow. It just kind of fell into the ground.
They got slower as they got dropped out.
It's like, you know when you're sleepy and you start slowly tipping your head forward? Like, that's what I feel the Widow Mine's doing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually do anything. It is just the animation, so it's not too bad. It looks stupid.
Yeah, it just looks really just odd. Because we're so used to seeing Widow Mines the way they run there. But we have Nerchio going for Aspire this game. Changing things up. I think air control on this map is going to be very important, but you're playing against somebody like Elazer who knows how to play very well, just generally speaking. Then you add in the fact that maybe uThermal gets that appropriate anti-air. Maybe throws out a Thor, Widow Mines, you name it. But Beasty, ooh, he's going mech. Yeah,
he is. Mech versus Bio, Mutas versus, well, to be determined. Actually, Elazer just halfway to his lair.
It's like the
what sucks though is like
Development Foundation for fundraising or whatever, TBD.
I don't remember that joke.
Oh, they kept putting, they didn't have a charity or a disease to raise for, so they wrote TBD.
Oh yeah, TBD. Yeah, okay, I remember that.
It's poor children.
Yeah. Oh, so in like a ZT versus ZT, I really feel like whoever this, like whichever Zerg gets to Mutas quicker is actually, it's more of like what it is in a ZVZ.
Oh no way! Oh no way! This is so bad for uThermal. Nice reaction time though.
Yeah. The anyways, to my point, I think the Terran can only help out so much with like random Widow Mines and like trying to stim and help out, but it really is going to be like, well, if you already got to this many Mutas, then Elazer's probably going to be deterred from doing them as well. And he already went for Roaches, so it's probably going to be Hydras and Festers.
Alright, Queens, Marines, oh, that's gonna rhyme, combined do a really good job of driving off the Mutalisks, so this actually isn't too bad. But while this goes on, Hellions also start pushing in too, and if these Mutas were to clear out the Roaches, the Hellions could easily deal with the Marines. So, unfortunately, as good as their synergy has been, kind of missing it right here. Nope. Nope, not JPEG.
That was pretty bad. Oh boy, well, hopefully Beastyqt can kind of make up for that. I think the army has been distracted chasing those Mutas.
Blue Flame's not here yet, but Hellions nonetheless on top of workers are always good.
I just realized they kind of look like Liberators when they first landed.
I guess they do have that slender sort of shape. I can see what your brain is thinking.
Yeah, as opposed to what my heart is thinking. My heart tells me those are really Liberators.
You're like a Disney movie, dude. Follow your heart. It's in my mind, grapes and lemon. But okay, Overseer heads over to the main. Gonna get some good scouting in. I mean, I think he already knew it was gonna be mech, but this is like that confirmation, 100%.
Yeah. Viking control, not gonna be as important. That was like such an important tool against Optimus, I believe it was, in one of the earlier series, where, I mean, this really was about like mech versus mech. Not so much against the Terran players. As long as they can stay away from the Vikings, of course, they can run around, then it's not as bad to deal with.
Are you fighting about co-op in chat right now?
I thought someone was making a joke, but then he said he got triggered about it, and I was like, I didn't ever not know that it would power his buildings. Like, I'm not that bad.
No, give me some credit, man. Jesus. This barracks scouting to the south is kind of funny to see. Nerchio's moving towards lurkers, by the way. Like, it's still Mutalisk. He's still going for air upgrades, but he's investing in a lurker den. I love the idea of dragging bio over top of lurkers, where you're cutting with mutas or something. Like, that could be really cool. But whether the outside-the-box thinking and strategy will be implemented or not, we have yet to see. Queens are struggling to deal with the mutas.
They are. Or they're kind of slow. with all the creep spread that Elazer does have. This is going to be an okay mech army, but if it's supported with Nerchio, then it's actually kind of great.
The problem I'm having with this, when I look at BC, is I'm expecting those tanks to start throwing out spider mines.
Come on, game.
Well, it's literally Nova's tanks is the skin, right? So.
But Elazer, as I was saying, like, BaseTradeTV needs to be a little careful because it's like not that critical mass of mech, but it is abusing this like very these small alleyways, these chokes in the middle of this map. So Elazer needs something bigger and better here.
I actually really like the way BC set this up. Like, you're trying the middle of the map, there's no counterattacks walking down the middle of the map. And he's got planetaries here, so it doesn't really matter if things come to the back attack, because he should still be able to hold it. So BC's essentially holding the bottom half of the map, giving Nerchio free reign to move up to the north. And 1v1 against uThermal's army, when it was just the mutas, they were no good. Now that Lings are getting in here, this is big problems.
Yeah, this is actually going to be a lot of damage. Where is uThermal's army? Well, there's Elazer's.
I think a lot of it's just been chasing around, trying to play catch. I mean, uThermal's down to 34 supply. He really just doesn't have anything. There's no SCVs, no army. And BC's pushing to the south, gets into position with those tanks as well. Vikings could always land if necessary. Hellies go up to the high ground to pick up what little there are left for uThermal. Blue Flame will tear right through those SCVs.
Well, I guess that's it for uThermal. Elazer does have a very large army, though, so even with the choke on BaseTradeTV's side, again, just like not too many units, so it is cleaned up by overwhelming numbers. Elazer moves to the right, as you attack to the top. Nerchio is going to be able to just dissect Elazer unless he gets a couple of really nice, like, blinding clouds, I suppose. Or, sorry, parasitic bombs with the Vipers. And then, that's hopefully going to give enough time for BaseTradeTV to gather his mech forces again and be actually a very good army.
Well, again, I think BC did what he needed to do, and he prevented any counterattacks from going off while Nerchio did what he wanted to do. And that alone was pretty good. Moving in, I don't agree with, but he did get some damage with it. And now we're finally going to see Nerchio? Nerchio, we got the lurkers, so it will be Nerchio.
I just imagine it's like that that meme where they just put a mustache on someone, so there's like a bunch of lurker spikes on Nerchio.
Well, no, I was actually...
Nerchio.
I think more like Nerchio is like big, tall... Slavic, grumpy, silent guy who's like Lurch.
Lurch. My name's Lurch.
Yarp. Yo, that was something that blew me away too. I didn't realize that the Hound for Game of Thrones is the guy from Hot Fuzz who's like Yarp.
Oh, I never watched. I watched like 10 minutes of Hot Fuzz and I didn't.
Stop. No, just tell me you didn't see it. Just tell me you didn't see it, please. It's better this way.
I mean, I heard it's a really good movie. Maybe I should watch all of it.
You didn't see the movie? Okay, well, you should check it out sometime. It's a great movie, Zombie. Please.
Okay.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Whatever. Everything you like, I hate.
Hot Fuzz is such a good movie. I can't do this right now. The mutas, by the way, we're setting up to 30 earlier. He's actually lost quite a few flying through the bases like this, but man, he's really digging into that economy. The Elazer's gonna be left with like 40 workers. Of course, uThermal's still in the gutter. Although this attack to the north will be met with lurkers and spine crawlers and plenty of roaches.
Even with the blinding clouds, there's quite a few lurkers. He needed all of the blinding clouds, just about.
I love this. The lings and the spine crawlers buy enough time for the blinding clouds to wear off. So these lurkers are they're chunking away. That splash damage is gross.
Yeah, there's no detection.
GG.
Oh my god. Okay, well, that was going to be it, I guess. GG, Nerchio Beastyqt, 2-0.
One more to go, though, guys, because it is a best of 5. So sit tight while we go to these commercials, and we'll see you for what is maybe the last game. Hopefully not. I thought this would have been a lot tighter than it was, but we'll be back soon for Game 3. Okay, folks, we're getting into the lobby for Flooded City. And
I am very hungry. It's been a long cast.
It has been quite a long cast. Quick note here, because it's being discussed in mod chat. Just so you guys are aware, ZombieGrub and I have hands-off policies when it comes to bans and unbans. Like, if you're ever, like, quote-unquote banned by myself or ZombieGrub, you're timed out for, like, a very short period of time. We don't do permanent bans. Only the mods do permanent bans. So, somebody earlier subscribed to the channel, not realizing that 2 years ago they had been banned from the channel. I don't have control of that stuff. Your best bet is to message one of the mods and take it up with them, and they'll discuss it. If it turns out what you said like 2 years ago wasn't so bad, then like they'll just unban you. It's really not a problem. But if it's like 2 years ago you were talking about wanting to like take zombie behind a dark alley, blindfold, like that sort of thing, you're like, no, you're probably still not welcome here if that's the case.
It was gonna be me as an example.
Well, I mean, I'm in for that stuff, right? So
what if we wanted to take Rifkin behind a dark alley?
Sometimes Rifkin wants some love too, you know. It's lonely at the top.
Oh.
All right, it's game number 3. And this isn't anything close to a close series. Because spawning here to the top, these guys are dominating. It's 2-0 in favor of Nerchio Beastyqt.
In the bottom right, as the red Zerg, it's Elazer. In the bottom left, it's uThermal. I just imagine, like in Parks and Rec, when she was getting recalled, and Purd was like, a nail biter, too close to call, a real race, or whatever, and he was like, none of these words affected this poll. That's what I felt like with you, man.
Yeah, well, maybe I wasn't going that direction with it, but I don't know. It surprises me. Elazer and uThermal, again, objectively amazing players. And probably if this was like a 1v1, this is like a round of 4 1v1 bracket, like you see Elazer and uThermal maybe up on the top of this. But Nerchio is quite good, but definitely not carrying. Beasty's doing a lot, and he's not being dragged by the heels or anything like that. Like this has actually been, I love it because it is in 2v2s that you'll see Beastyqt excel and possibly come out on top. When unfortunately, as much as we are fans of Beastyqt, we don't see him do that well in the 1v1 scene.
No, I don't. Certainly the first game, it was like absolutely 100% the synergy of the early game aggression and the fact that uThermal like expanded, but also just like Hellion Ling is a very good tool to use. I wonder what those pings meant.
Yeah, I was looking, I'm like, what, do they see something over there?
I guess maybe that's what they're checking. There was a proxy racks earlier from these guys. Or actually, it's from Optimus, but the point is, maybe it's a common proxy location. But in the second game, I do feel it was a lot to do with Nerchio, because those mutas ended up just distracting for so long. And the Ling run by is really what helped, like, absolutely kill uThermal. But right, Beastyqt's not been just falling behind and not doing his work.
By the way, I had stopped refreshing the Match Reno page because we had already beat the goal from earlier. But as this might just be the end of the series, I gotta give big shout outs to SharkDog58, who threw $25 into the prize pot, saying let's make it an even $450. Awesome 2v2s. And then Robski_S throws in $50 to say great cut, bringing the grand total up to $500. First place now worth $300, second place worth $150. 4 players today are getting a pretty big piece of this pie.
Well, cooking their turn to Beastyqt. Nerchio did go for a pool and a gas, so speed just kicks in. And Elazer was not totally prepared for this. Queen just pops out in the main base, barely pops out into the mineral line of the natural.
Trying to get some high ground shots in. Only managed to intercept the Reaper, really. This is already falling apart for these guys down here.
Well, luckily, Beastyqt isn't contributing to this, so it's not going to be game over. But because he's not contributing, he's getting away with, you know, a base and tech.
Yeah, it's the fact that Nerchio is, you know, I said not carrying, but in this game he kind of is.
His pressure is working out beautifully, like exactly as they would plan. I think, you know, you be aggressive and you check out what they're doing, and then I will take the economy and get some units and maybe break down a gold base for you later on, something like that. Well, uThermal is actually already on a Banshees, not Beastyqt, not yet.
This has been a wild ride of an opening. And I guess Elazer, the thing is, Nerchio did cut workers to make this happen, right? He's not sitting here on a phenomenal drone count himself, but he's expanding. Having already killed Elazers, he's probably going to feel very good about that. And then he's just got an overall army supply lead. So ZVZ winning, but again, there's still these Hellions to factor in from uThermal. Banlings to factor in now from Elazer. And Nerchio maybe didn't do enough damage.
That's a possibility. I mean, killing an entire base and getting out with most of your lings, I'd say, is pretty darn good. But, you know, Beastyqt is still trying to get good production himself. Because of that expand, he's not really at that point of the return of the command center. Not like, you know, exploding in his production. So it's probably the best time for Elazer and uThermal to try and break this team.
I really like the missile turret that's attempting to come down here. Unfortunately, it does get bust, but does, in the process, soak up the Banelings.
Yeah, I would say that's a perfectly fine use of a missile turret. It's a mistake from Elazer. Lings went around, and I thought they were going to come back around with the Banelings were dealt with, but they actually went for a counterattack in the main base of both of them. And you know what? Just what's up.
Yeah, that's what's so sick about this. He's got the wall, and a landed Viking can actually kill so many of these Hellions. 2 landed Vikings, too. Pulls back. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the worker kill count is racking up. Elazer's down to 2 drones, and uThermal's just running for his life. Nerchio, with the sickest Link counterattack, may have just won this game.
I'm pretty sure he has. Beastyqt didn't really take damage from that to save his command center. They didn't even see that Nerchio taking the base off to the left side, although it's not really got a lot of drones or any. That was really good. And Elazer down to 2 drones is kind of out. It's up to uThermal to return the damage.
Yeah, I mean, Beasty is sitting here on 26 SCVs, you know, Nerchio with 17. The fact that the combined total of the other 2 is like 10, unless these Banshees were able to run away with the game, which they're not, that's the only hope they had. And I think these finals are about to come to a conclusion here as uThermal, I mean, he's trying with the Hellbats, but they just can't. They don't have the range, they don't have the speed, they don't have the damage.
After watching Elazer do what basically Nerchio is doing now, last series, I really thought this was going to be game 4 at least. It's 3-0.
Oh, GG. Nerchio and Beastyqt, the kings of the cup, the 2v2 powerhouses. They take the series, they get the prize money, they get the girl in the end, I'm sure, and they are today's champions.
Somewhere.
Somewhere in there. Again, grand total $500 today is absolutely phenomenal. That is so cool to see, and you guys are awesome. And I gotta be honest, ZombieGrub, with this and the next 2v2 cup we have coming up, I'm more inclined to start throwing some more 2v2 tournaments. The hype of the 1v1s is nice, but like, maybe this is just because it's a once-off thing and I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. But I'm telling you guys, we got one more 2v2 coming up at an unknown date, but sometime this week. If we see this kind of hype, we see this kind of support for it, I am so inclined to throw more 2v2 tournaments in the future. The only reason we ever stopped was just because there wasn't the hype for it, right? Like, I don't care if it's 1,000 viewers, it's 2,000 viewers, if we're getting like 11 fucking Prime subs and a ton of people making the prize pool better for the players every time we do this. So.
It's been a really good day. And I think that is going to be a good test, is the second one. See if it continues.
Yeah, so to give you guys a quick rundown of it, we don't know when it's going to be yet. It's the Aerial 2v2 Cup. It's got $550 already for the prize pool. There's going to be about $100 available through Matcherino codes, and then I believe there's going to even be trophies, although that's something that was teased on Twitter, and I don't know how much of a follow-through there is for that. But the idea is that that's going to be aimed at the Korean time zone on the Korean server, but it'll be open to anybody. So if, for example, Nerchio and Beasty want to fight through the server lag and play 2v2s and kill the Koreans, I encourage them to do it. But yeah, it'll be sometime this week, probably within the next 4 days. The fact that today got pushed off, it was pushed off kind of last minute, which sucked, makes it a little bit difficult to work around. Also, we have some like real bad news about tonight. So scheduled in about 2 hours from now is supposed to be, a little less than 2 hours even, was supposed to be the second Colonial Wars, and it was going to be the USA and Canada qualifier. And I was really excited for this too. But we ran into a problem where there was some miscommunication with Maynard, and he had explicitly told us like he couldn't do Saturday, so we moved it to Sunday, and he seemed okay with that. What we didn't realize, and he didn't realize, and like I've talked to him about this, we both agree it was bad communication, was he wasn't here for today either. So ZombieGrub and I, having just cast 6 hours of this, I don't have the energy to jump into another like 4-hour qualifier.
Yeah.
So we'll post about that briefly or shortly. We'll make it brief. It's canceled for tonight, but it's still going to happen. The Colonial Wars event is still something we do want to run through. It's entirely experimental, and the idea is that it shouldn't even be me and ZombieGrub involved in it anyways. We're trying to be hands-off with it on purpose to give Maynard and Zeph a platform through BaseTrade to see if it's efficient. Like, can you actually bring other people to a channel that we built together and have our fans still enjoy them, right? And they're people we work with, so I'm hoping that that's the case. But anyways, we gotta go handle payouts for these players. I'm not sure if you guys even want 2v2 replay packs, but we'll send those out too before the night's over. So if you're subbed to the channel, expect to see those in your inboxes. Big thank you again to Twitch for helping make this possible. This event was entirely powered by Twitch. It was upgraded thanks to Matcherino and the fans, and the ZombieGrub said today was a really good day. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Any final words from you before we take off?
Please follow me on Twitter at TG Gaming, but more importantly on Twitch, ZombieGrub, and YouTube, ZombieGrub.
On that note too, make sure to hit the follow button if you enjoyed the show today, guys. Hopefully we earned a follow from you at the very least. I think we put on a pretty good show and the players had some good matches. The next time you'll see us live, though, will be tomorrow. So, again, not tonight for Colonial Wars. We got to push all that off, and there's a lot of scheduling hiccup stuff. But tomorrow with the Corsair Cup, we'll be back. So that'll be 1v1s. Feels bad, man. But like I said, we got to find some time to try and do this 2v2 Cup for the Koreans. So follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter, Riff_Kings. You guys know the spiel at this point. We're going to go find somebody awesome to host. Check out our sponsor links down below with Corsair. And have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Thank you again for watching, everybody. Gonna end the stream with some ads. See you later.